zwischendrin noch über die 4-11 geschoben.
Ohne Weitsprung. Zweiter ist er schon mit 7,89 Meter. Sechster Versuch für Simon Batz. Ja, da latschen sie alle drauf im sechsten Versuch. Aber guter Saison-Einstieg, 7,89 Meter für Simon Batz. Und Zweiter beim Indoor-Meeting Dortmund 2026.
Wir schauen zu Klarens im letzten Versuch hier.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dortmund, one of Europe's fastest indoor arenas and the stage for the Sparkassen indoor meeting. As you can see, it is already underway, and this man has the long jump competition wrapped up from the second round. Season's best for Balde, the Portugueseman, and a nice win under his belt early on in 2026. A week out from National Championship weekend. A couple failures midway through the competition, and this is a mere training exercise for him now. Can he go further than that 8:06 in the second? Good on the boards. And often we see it, don't they? When they haven't got that same motivation to really produce their best, they just tend to run themselves through the pit like Balde did just there. But that concludes your men's long jump, and the results of that, Balde wins. Simon Batz was second, the German, so it was a German 2-3 with Kevin Brucker also in third, 771 for him. Batz in second, 789. Those were your top three on the day, and I'm sure we will confirm those results just here on the screen for you. So a couple of season's bets in there. The German 2-3-4-5, in fact, on home soil. And a few disappointing jumps for the likes of Flatners and Farmer. And Dubina as well, down in 8th place, 742. All of those men a little way off their lifetime best. So plenty of lessons learned. The next event on the track, ladies and gentlemen, will be the men's 60 meters. We'll have two heats, and this is the lineup for heat one. And an event where you just need a good start, don't you? You really do, and that's to state the obvious, of course, and then try to limit any unforced errors. Try to hold those off around you. As we look at this man, Kaito Karuki, 666. The whole field is within a 0.2 of a second, pretty much. It's going to be awfully close out there. Folowu Oloye of Nigeria, a man who comes into this in pretty good form as well, with already a number of European races. Well, this is the man I'm looking forward to seeing, actually, Fernandez. I think he could really be a dark horse. He's certainly one to watch today. Well, Isuzu Desalu, 666, you can see equal lifetime best to many others out there already. Oliver Weidwick, nice PB for him this year. And they want to back that up today. Dennis Almas, German, home soil, not quite at his best yet. You can see a little way off his lifetime best, but improving with every race. And the Hungarian, well, a nation that seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Ilivosky, certainly one to watch for me here. Look at what Molnar's doing on the world scene at the moment. Well, Jan-Erik Frey then, of Germany, 666, his lifetime best. Another man who's just a little shy of that at the moment. So your men's 60-meter heats. Fernandez, for me, the Cuban, certainly one to watch. Their national record holder at 6:48, second in Madrid in that gold tour on Friday. It was a very, very strong field. But how has he recovered? Good practice for him. this championship season that awaits the world indoors. Could we see a sub 660 in the heats? So heat one underway. Look out for Fernandez in 3. Tall, rangy athlete. Kuroki got a great start, didn't he? But it's the Cuban who just edges clear. Or did he? The pole, Weidewick just closing very, very well on the line. Dead center, there he is. And even the fact that cameras have picked him up is usually a strong indication of the man who won. Kuroki on the inside. Well, the Japanese have always been known for exceptionally strong starts. And that was no different. But 663, so I expected something in the 660s to provide qualification for these men. The Hungarian Ilivoski in second now. This could be an upset. Fernandez will have to wait and see if he misses out. That's going to be a shock. Well, very, very close on the line. Weidewick, Ilivoski, Fernandez. Almas did nice season's best for him in 667, the German. Look at Kuroki, so low, isn't he, for so long into that 60. And Fernandez almost had it, yeah, either on the far side as well. Almas finishing very, very fast, the German. Good to see from him. Well, he'll be cheered on by this 4,100 deep crowd. Always in Dortmund, it is an incredible atmosphere. Well, there is the results. Conclusion there. Oliver Weidewick, Dominik Ilivoski and Jens Fernandez. Second in Madrid in that gold stop tour. And he is going to have to wait and see for a place in the final. But this crowd are just starting to reach boiling point. They've had a lot to cheer about recently as well. They've had the long jump, the pole vault. They've had a couple of 800s. 400s out there as well. Some of the juniors, developmental athletes coming through the ranks here in this fantastic arena. Helmut Koenig, Halle. And of course, Olympia Dortmund, one of the clubs out there who always aiming to produce Olympians, hence the name, and that is their mission. As we turn attention to the women's pole vault, you see Jakob there. Zoe Jakob of Germany, well, lifetime best at 4:11, just struggling at 4:21. Few of these pole vaulters not quite hitting their rhythm, actually. These female vaulters early on in the meeting. I think some of the class, a few 460 vaulters in there. Cherry of Germany, certainly one to watch as we turn our attention to heat 2 of this men's 60 meters. Well, there's the lineup for you, and look out for Robertson. 34 years of age, he's a veteran in this field, but picking up a medal at those European Indoor Championships last year behind his countryman, Jeremiah Azu. So he goes in 3. Robertson, his lifetime best, 6:54, dating back to 2016. 6:49, the world lead. Coincidentally, it was a time that won both the European Indoor Championships and the World Indoor Championships last year. Jeremiah Azu doing the double. Well, and there's Nicholas Rapp. Right on the inside. It's going to take a best performance for him to feature in this final. The man from Olympia Dortmund wearing those red colours. Just crossing over the Nigerian there, Adegoke. And well, there he is wearing the Sale Harriers vest. Robertson. Mentioned him already. Wallstein, 6:71, and you can't knock a guy who comes in to this heat in their best form. PB this year already. Dominik Kopecz of Poland. He's going to need to produce if he can get down in the 650s. I think anything sub 660 could win the final. Good opportunity for him to test himself in this heat. Marvin Schulter. And to look out for another competitive German. Alexander Sokolov of Ukraine, very, very experienced on the international circuit. He's kind of been there and done it, numerous championships. Perhaps the world indoors this year might be beyond him. Ilia Takeda then, well, some races he's completed this year. He's coming into his 12th race of the season. So he's really benefiting from this European circuit. And he's getting in as many races as he possibly can before heading back to Japan in a bid to qualify for those World Indoor Championships. So heat 2 then of the men's 60 meters here in Dortmund. Another stop on the World Athletics Continental Tour. Robertson, Wallstein and Kopech going 3, 4 and 5. They are certainly your men to watch. Whoa, good start by all. It was late. Takeda, had he heard it? Goodness me, he was head down. Harry Flatters to the end of the line. Just pulling up. Well, he's pretty much run a 55 meters. Takeda, the Japanese athlete on the outside. Wow, it was very close. Initially, my eyes are drawn to Wallstein, who was dead center in the blue. Tall, young German, just 21 years of age, Wallstein. As I mentioned, Robertson there in the green. Very, very experienced and a bit of an indoor specialist. He's had some huge success over the 60 meters in his career that now spans more than 10 years on the international circuit. Well, there you are, then that's a shame for Wallstein. He will dispute, and he... Sometimes I've seen athletes still be awarded the opportunity to run, and that disqualification just coming after the 60, because it would be a shame to not even get a run out here for Wallstein. And look how close he was as well. You can see that reaction time under 1/10 of a second. Only just that, by a whisker. So there we are. So I think the officials, well, they've given him the disqualification, but he can run under protest, and he'll probably still have a DQ next to his name after the race, but it gives him an opportunity just to see how he fares against these men. An interesting psychology for those either side of him as well. Will that help drive them on, or will that just add a little bit more nervous tension through the back end of the race? Sometimes it doesn't matter. Even if you know the person is disqualified, you still want to cross the tape first. So Rupp, Edagoke, Robertson, Wallstein, Kopech, Schulte, Sokolov and Takeda on the outside. So where they go to clean start this time, it's very quick start from Edagoke. Robertson coming through. The experienced man will lose out. Kopech, Dominik Kopech. It's another Polish athlete who takes the 60 heat here in Dortmund. Fine run from him. Robertson led until what, 50 meters, 55 meters, then ties up. Loses that max velocity, and Kopech there, 6:61, so the fastest of the qualifiers. Lifetime best for Takeda. Comes, what, 12 races into his indoor season since the turn of year. Wallstein is included in the results there, the German. 6:68, another PB for him. So it was worth the protest. They may disqualify him at a later date or analyze that original false start. So you can see it was Edagoke and 2 who gets away. Robertson then edging clear. It's why Robertson is such a threat, but he does need to work on that back half of the race if he is going to hang on in the final. It's a little tension, perhaps coming later on. Well, Here are the results for you. Here are your finalists. So it will be Kopechum, Vardeweg, so the two Poles lead the way. They are in pole position, in fact. Dominik Ilivosky, Jens Fernandez, Andrew Robertson, Peter Kita to complete the lineup. And a few others in here. Adegoke rewarded with a lifetime best, 671. They're in 10th place in that second heat. And that fast start, setting him up well for that lifetime best. So the final, by the way, for that men's 60 meters will take place a little later on today at 3:42, 42 minutes past 3. Here's the lineup for the men's pole vault. Neat record of 5:95 shows you the caliber we have had here in Dortmund over the years. Hendrik Hoffmann, 5:20, his lifetime best. If ever there was an opportunity to improve on that, now is the time. Well, there's Ladislav Zedacik, the Czech, the young Czech as well, the youthful, prosperous Czech. Fabio Wunski, another German, just graduating that under-23 ranks. Attended those European under-23s. Robert Koppus of Estonia. Spotlights on him as he strides out into this fantastic arena. Eichenberger, the Swiss athlete, 25 years of age. Philip Bartonek of the Czech, and one of the few men in this field who has set his lifetime best this year. Always dangerous, always an athlete to watch. So consistent around that 5:50 mark. Well, Matteo Oliveri, I've seen a lot of him this indoor campaign already, and he has looked comfortable at the 5:50, 5:60, and I believe that's what it might take here today, unless we see something special from this man who needs no introduction, the Turk, Erzu Sazma. Well, you saw that lifetime best of 5:90. He's had a special career. He was 7th at Dusseldorf a little while back, a few weeks ago, but 5th at those Olympic Games in 2024 and 3rd at those European Championships in 2024 as well. That was an incredible season for him. Couldn't quite back that up in 2025, so had a difficult year last year, but we'll just look to build that momentum again going into the European Championships in the summer. And of course, the Olympic Games, can you believe it? Just 2 years away, or 2.5 years away, I should say. Of course, currently the Winter Olympics just got underway on Friday. I'm sure many of you European viewers will be enjoying watching that and following your nations. So it doesn't get much better than German athletics, does it? Just the atmosphere in this arena, the knowledge of the crowd. Whenever you see a World Tour stop in Germany, you know it is going to be quite special. Well, here's a cherry. 4:31 goes clear and looks good doing it as well. These women competing on the other side of the track to the men. Jacqueline Cherry, season's best, 4:31. And just already you can see, as soon as you go clear, you put that vault behind you and you start preparing for the next one. You have to think about the approach, size of the pole you're then going to use, where those bars are going to be positioned as well. Well, so you can see them preparing the hurdles. There are a few other matchups to look forward to. We saw that men's 60. Men's 400 is going to be a fantastic matchup, isn't it? Bredoux versus Secours, German versus the Belgian. Both of them right around that 45-second mark. Steinmeier. Can she go clear? Oh, well. certainly has it in her to go clear, just not on that attempt. And that is very, very encouraging for her. I believe that attempt, because already setting a lifetime best, how much more can she squeeze out of herself today? Has she got in and out? Just looking at that, initial takeaway would be a little bit more speed required through that transitional phase. Well then, it's the first of the middle distance action, the men's 800 meter. And the man to look out for, Marcin Wederka, the Pole. We've already seen two of them move very, very well. And they will play host to the World Indoor Championships, Poland. So there's a lot for them to run for. Muzinovic will pace on the outside. Bosnia-Herzegovina. Remember Amal Tuka, bit of a legend in 800 meter running. Well, Malik Skupin-Alpha. Well, he lines up on home soil, and he'll just need to position himself in the pack, be patient, and try to bring himself into contention late on, I think. I expect this man to dictate proceedings today. Marcin Wederka, 1:44.07. Now, that was just a few days ago in Ostrava, and that was a big lifetime best. Look at where he was last year, 1:46 indoors, now 1:44 low. Robert Roots, 1:51, his lifetime best. And Louis Bushbeck, another man, 1:48.87. So you can see the golfing class between the likes of Wederka, and he might want it that way so he can attack in a fast time. These two men may challenge him. Ömer Faruk Bozdak of Turkey, a very young challenger in this field, very fearless as well, and will look to test himself and just knows he's just got to hang on to the two poles. Shiradatsky, he does bring experience and tactical intelligence for me. He's very astute, is Shiradatsky. Robin Oosterdin of Switzerland right on the inside. And don't forget, staying in lanes for two bends in this men's 800. So we expect control and authority from Wederka there in the red in 4. And his countryman Shiradatsky to challenge him through the latter part of this race. So away they go in this men's 800 meters, and we're still getting used to this slight rule change that came into play this year, where they run in lanes for two bends, and it's making things a little easier, a little less congested. However, it's probably making the 800 a little harder to pace. So this is bold running for the German, and it's Skupin-Alpha Malik, who sits in second. He will know who is behind him. He'll know the quality of Wederka, who is just flowing there in third. Pacemaker, Vucinovic out front, checking his shoulder already, looking for this 400-meter split. This will be crucial. The men's 800 going to new heights this year. We've seen a world record already, 51.04 at the halfway mark. Pacer just starting to peel off. He won't want to get in the way of these runners. No wave likes for these men down there, so just purely relying on the pacer. He's done a great job. And now it is still the German who leads. Business end of this race thing. Coming up to the bell lap. Wederka sits in second. Skupin-Alpha of Germany. This could be a huge performance from him if he can hold off Wederka, who was in a race where 6 broke 1:45 the other day. And this is the change of pace Wederka's going to have to rely on at the World Indoor Championships, providing he gets there. He's going to have to attack again coming off the bend. Skupin-Alpha of Germany looking to hold on. Wederka takes it though, and it goes to the form book, 1:45.81. But that is a huge run, and credit deserved for Skupin-Alpha, who was bold, and he's been rewarded with a second place here on the World Tour. almost beating the heavy favorite and perhaps just looking a little leggy. He picks up that meet record scorecard as well. And this Dortmund track, not the quickest track for 800-meter running. The bends are very tight. It's a fast surface, long straights and sharp bends. Let's hear from the pole.
We can do sign language because I know you need to breathe a little bit. You are a legend already. You're very young, but you're the fastest Polish ever over the 800, which is a huge endeavor because you guys, there was a lot of guys before you that were very fast. Also er ist jetzt schon der schnellste Pole über 800 Meter Indoor. Jetzt ist er auch noch der schnellste hier bei uns in der Halle. Das ist nochmal ein Sonderapplaus, oder? Für Martin Guggenheim.
Well, there's the results there for you. Confirmation. Look at that. A whole host of PBs in the top 4. Meet record for Viderka, previously held by Robert Falcon. His fellow countryman, more of a 1500-meter specialist this time last year. Scooping out for them. What a run. Dips inside. 1:46. And he's just outside. He will be gutted. Just outside. Now, world indoor qualifying mark. 1:45.90. Apologies. Well, indoor 800-meter racing is about decisions, isn't it? They do come fast at you, and I think Viderka made a couple tactical errors there. He'll be the first to admit that, but he still got the job done. However, against better opponents, he might struggle to get round them. Well, Cherry in the women's pole vault cleared 4:31 comfortably on that first attempt. Now let's check in and see where the bar is at now. 4:41, just going up in 10-centimeter increments. Season's best for her. Already, can she go clear again? Yes, she can. Going from strength to strength. And this crowd are enjoying what they're watching. 4,000 of them packed into this fantastic arena. And it does just echo noise. Bouncing off the walls. This Olympia Dortmund arena, and it is a special place to come and train. And you look at the facilities that Olympia Dortmund as a club boast. This indoor facility, great outdoor facility as well. It's a really professional setup as we see a Chiri go clear. 4:41, and that pole vault competition is in the palm of her hands at the moment, controlling proceedings. So it'll be the men's 60-meter hurdles next on the track. There will be 2 heats. As we just go through that men's 800-meter final results once again. Scooping Alpha. Pushback, another PB for him, 1:48. That gap did open up, didn't it, over that last 200 meters. Those front top 2 really pulling away. So as we wait for these 60-meter hurdlers to come out and enter this arena. They'll be like gladiators at the moment, under the stands. They'll hear the noise echo off the walls. The crowd are amped up. Fastest in the field is Scheidsker. 7:48, his lifetime best. There's a very, very strong Polish contingent here. So here's a good look at the timetable and what is to come. We'll have the men's 60-meter hurdles. We'll then have the women's 60. Svoboda, another Polish star. An athlete who is a global contender over 60 meters. As she prepares for the World Indoor Championships, tuning up here in Dortmund. Certainly an athlete who is on the periphery of world class over the 100 outdoors, but definitely indoors is world class, and she comes into the conversation whenever you talk about who is going to win a world title. Svoboda is certainly someone you consider. And the afternoon's action we capped off with the men's 60 hurdles final and now women's 60 meters. As I said, looking forward to seeing what Svoboda could do. Won't have it all her own way. There is still a very, very strong field. Takacs of Hungary, 7:09 her lifetime best. Miley Lanzaquo, Great Britain as well. Very good 100-meter sprinter. Almost the opposite to Svoboda. Her strength is her top speed and her strength late on in the race as well. So Cherry will have time to prepare for her next vault. Where will the bar go? 4:51. Or will she attempt a lifetime best of 4:60?
Anlage für Jackie O'Chere zwar geöffnet, aber die hat als alleinige Athletin der Wettkampf jetzt 5 Minuten Zeit für den Versuch. Gibt uns die Gelegenheit, einfach noch mal ein bisschen nach vorne zu schauen. 60 Meter Hürden-Vorläufe der Männer. Die folgen jetzt gleich, das wisst ihr. Danach die 60 Meter Vorläufe der Frauen. Und
so Cherry just preparing. She's got the competition wrapped up herself, just preparing to attack another season's best. First time clearance at 4:31, first time clearance at 4:41, and now what will come of presumably 4:51. And due to the lack of women left in this competition, she will have about 4 or 5 minutes in between vaults. To just set herself. 4:55 then. I thought she might be a little bit bolder than that 4:51. She has gone for a 4:55. And she knows that is often a mark that will challenge for her national championships next week. It's very close to a winning vault. Oh, and she is absolutely crushing it here in Dortmund. Well, Cherry having one of the competitions of her life. Meet record for and just proving to be in fantastic shape at the right time in the season. I mentioned as we came on air, this is a meeting where that early season form starts to just merge with championship ambition, and she can believe. Where does she go next? Time will tell, but that wasn't even close, and I just think the ease that she is getting over these heights, 31, 41, and now 55, all first-time clearances, we could see something special. Lifetime best stands at 4:60. And some fitting music in the background for her as well. I think tonight is already a good night for her, Cherry. Just 4 men decided to come in at 5:10. Unfortunately, Ladislav Zedacek of the Czech Republic, 3 failures at 5:10, so he's out of the competition. However, he is the only man to have exited this early on. So Homan.
Mit 5 der deutschen Meisterschaften von Dresden im letzten Jahr.
Well,
Im ersten
he's close. He's fast through that transition, isn't he?
3 weitere Athleten sehen wir bei dieser Höhe.
A lot of the time in pole vault, athletes won't panic about a first-time failure. It is a discipline that you learn more throughout each jump. And so they'll take that on board, adjust a few things. Time to turn back to the track. The incentive field is the men's 60-meter hurdles. Heat 1 is about to get underway. There was a quick glimpse at the lineup. And we'll take a closer look as we pull trackside. Behinsky of Ukraine. Dmitry Behinsky, 7:85, his lifetime best. He'll need to get, probably need a bet to that, to be honest, if he wants to make this final. Lacker. Well, he's a regular on the Continental Tour circuit, isn't he? We love seeing him. Elmo Lacker, the Finn. Well, this is the tall, towering Polish figure who is, without a doubt, the favorite here today. And Diano Roberts is certainly one to watch. We welcome him to Europe, the Jamaican NCAA champion last year, indoors over 60. Wasn't in Tokyo. Diaz, another Spaniard to look out for, 26 years of age, 7:69 PB this year. Leo Achka of France. This race could well come down to just who gets over those first 3 flights of hurdles the smoothest, and then as a hurdler you can find your rhythm. You can relax at speed a little bit. But you don't want to be chasing, especially how compact these indoor arenas are. You haven't got much room for recovery. So those first 3 hurdles, crucial. Especially for a man like Shashka. He's very tall, but gets out the blocks well despite his height. Oh goodness, it's not a good day for Damian Seisker. He knows that was all on him. It was obvious. We won't even have to get a closer look at that one. He'll be absolutely gutted. A man who was 4th at the World Championships in 2022. Outdoors, that was over to 110. He's been on the periphery of medaling at a Global Championships for some time now. But also, interestingly enough, I think Seisker would have been a bit of a benchmark athlete for the rest of the field. They would have keyed off him. They would have judged their performance today on how close they were to the pole. And perhaps even if they could get ahead of the pole, that would have filled them with confidence going into National Championship weekend next week. You can see there, well under 1/10 of a second, that reaction time. Considered illegal in sprint terms, considered humanly impossible to react that quickly. Well, to equal a lifetime best. Has Achiri got it in her? Oh, yes, she has. Have we seen anything like this before? Not one failure. It's another meet record. It's an equal PB. And you had to ask the question, did she want to be a little bolder, a little braver, and go for a 465? It kept the bar at 460. And that is a special, special vault for Achiri. Well, the question is now, do you keep going? I mean, she hasn't showed any signs of struggling from the outset here. She'll start thinking about what is possible. We know how competitive it is to make it to the World Indoor Championships with just 12 vaulters being accepted in. More on Achiri to come. Back to this men's 60-meter hurdles heat. And if you're wondering why Szyszka is able to line up, he's been disqualified. However, he will run under protest. He'll get a race in his legs. But Roberts to his right, our left, will be relieved as he bids for a spot in the final. Clean start now, then let's see what Szyszka can do. Long stepping stride. Laka gets away very, very well, taking to both the heavy favourites. Laka, the flying Finn, may well have just taken that. Elmo Laka. And I'm surprised Gianno Roberts there as well. Didn't seem to be at his best. Almost stunned in the blocks. Yes, Elmo Laka, 7.67. Nice season's best for him. As fast as he's moved in a few years. Roberts there, 7.76. And now Achka, of course, Diath. Szyszka is disqualified, so he will be right at the bottom of the pile there. But probably second in the race. Let's take another look at this. Struggles to get out, doesn't he, Szyszka? He was just on the back foot. Roberts looks smooth, couldn't quite get on terms with Laka. Roberts absolutely clattering that hurdle there. And that was why he made absolutely no inroads on the likes of Elmo. Well, far off his lifetime best, Elmo Laka, just 400th of a second. Certainly something he'll be thinking about going into that final. Strange decision for me as we look at the results of this women's pole vault. Jacqueline Achiri deciding to just get the meet record and call it a day. Equal lifetime best as well. Steinmeier, lifetime best of 4:21, and Jakob 4:11, lifetime best for her. So a full domestic field. But the way Achiri is vaulting, she had more in her. We might see more from her. But we'll take that graphic at face value for now and presume that is the end of the women's pole vault. And if we need a confirmation, we'll get it now as she does a post-event interview. Well, huge upset in the men's 60-meter hurdles. That was only in Heat 1. What's to come in Heat 2? That will be next on the track. It's going to take a sub 760 to cement your place in that final.
Meisterschaften, da haben wir ein bisschen Freude davon auch, oder? An den Meisterschaften?
Also ich freue mich erst auf die deutsche Meisterschaft hier in Dortmund und dann sehen wir weiter.
Auf jeden Fall dafür bestens schon in Szene gerückt. Herzlichen Glückwunsch nochmal. Jacqueline Achiri, unsere Siegerin der Uniform in Winter.
Well, great to hear from Achiri there. What a competition from her. Not one failure today. How often do you see that?
Henrik Hohmann, der Dortmunder, hat es im dritten Versuch geschafft. Drübere 5,20 Meter. Und Felix Eichenberger, ein Schweizer. Den würden wir doch gerne bei dieser Höhe noch
Well, here is Felix Eichenberger of Switzerland. Pressure's on. Look at Ochiri's scorecard, who won that women's pole vault competition. Not one failure. Well, this man's got 2 under his belt, and he's yet to find a failure. Can he turn it around? Final attempt at 5 meters in 20 centimeters. Eichenberger. He's going to do it, or is he? No. Oh, as the camera followed him down, the bar chased him. And very, very disappointing. So we've seen 2 men in the pole vault bow out without a clear attempt. Let's turn our attention back to the track then. Men's 60-meter hurdles, heat 2. The final, ladies and gentlemen, coming up at 4:45 local time, 4:45 local time. Just over an hour and a half. Yannick Wojtaszek of Germany, well, yet to break 8 seconds in the hurdles. Perhaps a big ask for him today to feature in this one. Ronan Greff then of France, 7:72. His lifetime best, strong contender. It's going to take a clean run. Not necessarily bravery, but a clean run will win indoors here today. Stefan Walser, 7:75. You can see just how close this is. Well, if Damien Scheiker was the favorite, this man was certainly the challenger. Job Gerts of the Netherlands, 7:54. He's in a class of his own, as you can see on lifetime best. Kolomajnik of the Czech, 7:62. He's a smooth runner. Usually gets a pretty clean effort out. Kusanimi of Finland. Well, it'd be inspired by the events of Lacquer in that previous round. Stefan Stefko. So a little less about speed, more about rhythm for a few of these men in this 60. As we know, we look at the talent of Giano Roberts. Had a messy heat. Winds up in second behind Lacquer. 3rd across the line, if you count Scheiker. Got to get those first 3 hurdles spot on. What is going on today? This is the 3rd false start that we've seen out of 4 60-meter races. Well, this surprised me. This was less about a false start, more just about athletes not seeming to get out the blocks. So we'll have to take a closer look. I was so focused in on dead center on Gertz. Just wanted to see his start. How sharp is he looking over those first couple flights? The Dutchman. Yeah, see, yellow card. So this was, as I mentioned, less about a false start. Dutch. So for a reference point, 7:65 is the world indoor qualifying mark. So then Gertz, last year, 5th at the European Indoor Championships on home soil. He's there in the red, lining up in 5. With Scheiker out, this man is arguably the favorite for the men's 60-meter hurdles. However, has to negotiate the heat first. So that's a good start from Walser on the inside of Gertz. Gertz under a lot of pressure. Kolomanasnik is just pulling away, eases away. Jonas Kolomanasnik of the Czech Republic stuns Gertz into losing that one. I think he couldn't believe it, Job Gertz. Well, he's not in the shape he was last year. We could say that. But we still expected a little bit more from him. I mean, Greff ended up getting second, 7.75. Walser third, 7.86. And that is a huge shock. So a man who this time last year was bidding to make a European final, did make a European final, finished 5th. Just about scrapes into the top 5 in a heat in Dortmund in the World Indoor Tour. And you look there, Kolomanasnik, for me, you see hit smashing that last barrier, has more to give as well. The up-and-coming Czech athlete, just 22 years of age. So 7.64. 200th of a second off his lifetime best, Jonas Kolomanasnik. And I am excited to see what he'll do in the final. Elmo Lacker, Greff, it's confirmation of those in the final. Those will be your fastest 3 to go through. And you can see those athletes who were disqualified. So from one Czech start to another, Batanek in the pole vault, asking for 5.20, gets it. 5.30, my apologies, 5.20 passes there, 5.30, confidence running through that man. Batanek. Well, looking like he's got it in him to challenge here today. Sassmas would have taken note of that vault. Simply more just the ease and the overall clearance of the bar. Look at that. Ooh, it was close though. The vertical height was very good, however, needs to just tidy up his aerial positioning a little bit over that bar at its peak. So Oliveri in fine form, hence why he's entering the competition a little later than usual, a little later than I've seen previously, and that's why. Confident, commanding jump. 5.30 clearance, first attempt. He'll be visualizing a 5.60 or even a 5.70 today. I imagine the Italian. 5.60 already this year. Talk about those World Indoor qualifying marks. The men's qualifying, 5 meters in 90 centimeters. And that's what surprised me about Achiri on the women's side. She cleared 4.60 first attempt and 4.70 as the World Indoor qualifying mark, and they do only take 12 to the World Indoors. It is absolutely cutthroat, ruthless qualification. The Homanen trying to stay in this competition, equaling his lifetime best at 5.20. Wearing those Dortmund colors of the famed Olympia Club, and that's unfortunate. We'll have one more attempt. Took him 3 at 5.20. He probably expected it wasn't going to be easy to go to a height he's never been before. So then your women's 60 meters next on the track. And we have the one and only Svoboda in this one. Very, very excited. So on the inside then, athlete to look out for representing Slovenia. Potnik there. Try and challenge from 1. Lotta Kempinen from Finland, 7.16. Now that is very, very sharp indeed. Certainly an athlete to look out for. Not the fastest in the field, but one of them. Jolina Ernst of Germany, 7:30. Sophia Junk, Germany, another one. You can see how close this women's heat is. And it is going to take a perfect run from all of these athletes, and crucially a perfect start. We've seen how many? 3 false starts already today. Well, Swoboda, one of Europe's leading female sprinters, needs no introduction. 6:98, her lifetime best. I'm sure she would have seen Julian Alfred's world lead of 7 dead yesterday. Can she challenge it later on in the final? Mons of Chile, an athlete to look out for. Certainly comes in with pedigree. And Meyer then goes in 7:30. Another German with a lifetime best right on the 7:3 mark. Madalena Stefanovic, another fast finishing pole. Good start. They are well drilled, aren't they? Will certainly have one eye on the world indoors. They've had 3 World Indoor Championships back-to-back, but in 2024, Swoboda was the silver medalist in Glasgow, losing by 200ths of a second. I'm sure it still pains her to this day. Stefanovic on the outside. So your women's 60 meters, heat 1. All eyes on 5. So where they go, then clean start. Just look at Swoboda in the dead center. She's under pressure from Kuipeinen, the Finn. We are going to see another Finn deliver an upset here. It's only the heats. We won't get too excited, but Kuipeinen, that was very, very impressive. And an athlete who boasts an incredible CV herself. 7:16 her lifetime best. Silver medalist from those European Indoor Championships back in 2021. Just stunning. Swoboda there, who had the lane draw as well. Kuipeinen just delivers, gets out so well. And it was just this midsection of the race for me, for Kevin. It stayed awfully relaxed, accelerated. Swoboda doing her best to get back on terms. I mean, at the end of the day, there was only 100th of a second between them. But that's 60-meter racing for you. It is fine margins. So is that your new favorite going into the final? We'll see those women at 5 minutes to 5 local time. Oh, Meyer, the German, just exiting the track. Where was she? 5th? Yeah, Sina Meyer, 5th there. First German's Junk there in 3rd. Kuipeinen and Swoboda then your top 2. 7:23, 7:25. Making note of that. We have the next heat to come. So then can Hendrik Holman stay in the competition? 3rd attempt at 5:30, came close on that 2nd attempt. Oh, well. I'd say his best was that 2nd attempt, unfortunately. Not even getting the vertical height he needed to challenge for that one. Just knocking off with his feet. But you can't complain. Equal lifetime best. He's got to be happy enough. And so are his teammates. Well, he's a local lad wearing those Dortmund colours. If you see that red vest throughout the afternoon, that is the Olympia Dortmund Club. And you may have even seen it across Europe and even across the world, in fact. It's an extremely professional setup here in Dortmund, a club that was founded just over 30 years ago now, late 80s, and it's delivered numerous Olympians. And it's often you get a club that makes it their mission to produce Olympians, and they have the facilities and the setup to actually go and do that. This isn't just a developmental club. where they take athletes to a level, then let them fly the nest. This is a real hub of high performance here in Dortmund, and you can see why when we pan out on this fantastic arena. So then heat 2 of the women's 60, and a few of these would have watched that heat 1 and thought, I can really compete here today. Svoboda's not looking at her best. Kemppanen as well. Can they challenge? Who will challenge? Who will step up to the plate? Celine Bergi goes in 1, Swiss athlete. Viola John of Germany comes into this in her best form, and that's all you can ask of an athlete this time of the season as we near that championship weekend next week. Gloria Hooper then, 7:25, her lifetime best. It's certainly going to take something around there to qualify for this final. The Italian veteran, Mabel Akande, another very, very promising athlete graduating those junior ranks, developing nicely. Another British sensation, Rebecca Haas, then goes in 5. Well, she's had a lot of success in the relay team and in the individual 100. Haas, previous national champion. Takash of Hungary. For me, this is the threat in this heat, the national record holder of Hungary, set last year. Amalie Landskrow, look at her at her best, can really give her. Consistent in the 7-1s, Landskrow. Smanidaki, Hatsariga of Greece in 8. So both heats very, very competitive in this women's 60. Bergi, John, Hooper, Akande, Haas, Takash, Landskrow, and Spanidaki, Hatsariga on the outside. Your women's 60 meters heat 2. The threat coming in 5, 6, and 7. Oh, whoa. Now, will that be a false start? Rebecca Haas of Germany, another veteran sprinter. Mentioned she's had so much success over the years, been part of that quartet. Anxiously waiting for the result to be confirmed from the officials. What action will they take? Is this going to be a red card or a yellow card? A yellow card, and one can only presume, no, in fact it was Takash, the Hungarian, so apologies there. One can only presume that it was far enough out. They weren't quite in that set position. Semi-finalist at World Indoors in 2024, Takash. So who starts best? It was a great start from Viola John on the inside, and she is taking it to those ladies. Dead center. Hasse is going to take it though. 7:24, the German. Rebecca Hayes edging closer to her lifetime best. Now that was a good, patient display of 60-meter sprinting. Took her a little while to find her at 7:23, so equaling the time of Kemppanen in that previous heat. Who got second? It's another, flashed up there as another German, John. Big surprise for me how well John ran in 2. I was expecting the threat to come from Takash and even Amalie Landskrow. They'll have to wait to see if they're fastest losers. Great close from Viola John as well as her start. And Hase just pulling away from Mabel Akande on her inside. So then there is your 8 finalists. Rebecca Hase, Kempinen, Saboda will feature Viola John, Akande, Young Stefanovic, and Celine Berge on the inside in that heat that we just witnessed. So a couple surprises for me. And look at that, a 1/10 of a second, just over, separates the whole field. It's going to be tight, it's going to be fast, ladies and gentlemen. That final coming up at 5 minutes to 5. It will close out the evening's action here in Dortmund. And Amani lands a quote. Sees his best, but just missing out the Brit. Well, we've seen the men's long jump take place, and we'll turn our attention to the women's triple jump. They'll be the next ones in the sandpit as we introduce them. Yara Boomer then of Germany, 13:09, loved her best, set that this year. What an opportunity for her, what a stage to compete on. And this is what these world tours provide for a lot of local athletes. Josie Kronig of Germany, just 20 years of age. 1943 jumper. Has a centimetre more at her best on the Czech athlete, Mastilarova. Anna Grafin, Kieselink. It's going to be a good battle between some of these Germans. I mean, they are a week out from their national championships. Can they get a psychological lift by beating one another here? All to play for them. And Sarah Michelle Kudla introducing her into the arena. They know how to put on a show, don't they? Look at the production of this meet. All track meets should be like this. Salia Guessi of Belgium, another mid-13 meter jumper. Choosing not to stride off around the bend, conserving her energy. And Kira Whitman, the first that we have seen to have broken that 14-meter barrier. Edging closer to it throughout the early part of 2026. Takes a few competitions for them to feel at their best, as you can imagine. Wow, Maya Askak, 14:06. The Swede, well, no doubt she is the best Swede as well currently. Well, Filipic is going to need to be at her best today to challenge in this one, because we have a very experienced German in Caroline Juyu. And again, one who is in form, Juyu. And that is crucial when it comes to triple jumping, because you can see some of the differences between lifetime best and season's best on these athletes' scorecards. Well, Cuba have always delivered some fantastic jumpers over the years, and this is another one. 14:23. Velasco. Fast and powerful through the hop, skip, and jump. Technically sound as well. Just another one from the production line over in Cuba. Boy, oh boy, do they love their jumping. It's almost a similar presence, isn't it, to a lot of people associate East Africans with great endurance prowess, and the same with the Cubans when it comes to jumping. Long jump, triple jump, they are just so experienced, so talented, and they really do have world-class coaching to call upon
Stabhochspringer, die ist jetzt vorbei. Mit der Höhe
But very rarely do you see a global final without the Cuban in it. Fabio Wunschke. Little short on that one. We'll go back to the drawing board a little bit as these women just get a few nice warm-ups under their belt.
Es geht auch direkt los im Dreisprung der Frauen. Und direkt mit einem gültigen, das sehen wir noch gerne. Warten wir noch kurz.
12.26 from Yara Boma, so a modest start for her. But is the first to get a jump under her belt. So straight into it for those women triple jumpers. Thought they'd have a few warm-up rounds, but already out on the track, been introduced, and off they go. Robert Compost in. Past the 5:30, here we are, first attempt at 5:40. Can he keep that perfect scorecard? He's only had one vault today. Yes, he can. Smooth from the Estonian. Bar to go to 5:50 next. Looking in control as well. Intrigued to see when will Sasma enter the competition. The Turk, who was 5th in the Olympic Games back in 2024, has not entered the competition yet, and I think 5:40 might be the height that we first see him. 5:50 would feel just a little risky. Emma Mastelarova then of the Czech Republic gets her triple jump campaign underway here in Dortmund. Close on the board. We'll wait and see. Invalid attempt. I believe it's flashing up on the electronic scoreboard there. As you can see, so foul for her. Well, Baudet, who won the men's triple jump, 3 fouls for him. Simon Batz, 4 fouls for him, just 2 attempts on the board. And don't get me started on those World Athletics rules, which were fear no more. They will not come into place. Obviously, large discussions about a takeoff zone versus a board. And one of the driving reasons behind that was to just limit the fouls, but you really would just change the landscape of the whole event. And I think a lot of athletes were relieved to see that idea completely shut down from World Athletics at the turn of the new year. So you can just see the officials there just moving those vertical poles which hold up the bar. And athletes do have a choice just to where to position them. Do they bring them forward? Do they bring them back? And it's fine margins. Often takes them a couple jumps to figure out where they want them. So the 5:40, I said this might be the first time we see Sasma, the characteristic Turkish vaulter. I mean, he's a multiple national champion for them, national record holder, undisputed Turkish champion. So, comfortable clearance at 5:40 to warm up into this one. And that would just send a message to the rest of the field to say, yes, I'm here. There's nothing ropey about my opening height. And you look at the vertical he had on that. 40 or 50 centimeters, I imagine. Well, he's a man who's cleared 592 at his best. Corrales, by the way, world leader in this men's pole vault, 593. The Greek star, what a 2025 season he had. Could you say he's put a little pressure on Mondo, maybe challenged him a touch? Difficult when these men are up against a man who just sets world record after world record. How many does he have now? 10 world records? surpassing double digits.
Im Stabhochsprung, zweiter Versuch für
Fabio Wünsche, 540, second attempt. Knows what he needs to do. Can he put it into practice? Nope. Good control on the bar, not to let himself come crashing to the ground. Good aerial awareness from him.
Die 5 Meter wird sie ja schon zweimal in dieser Saison gesprungen, in Prag und in Chemnitz. Dann klappt es auch hier gleich im dritten.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your men's 60-meter final is now on the track. And it is moments away from getting underway. So Nigerian goes in 1. Was very impressed with his heat. Stayed relaxed and actually got a season's best to do it as well. 670 from him. Well, he cut it fine, Fernandez. He didn't look too sharp out of the blocks, but he's in the final, and that's all that matters. 664 in the heats. Jens Fernandez, the Cuban, second in Madrid just a couple of days ago, perhaps still in his legs. Dominik Kopecz of Poland, one of 2 Polish victors in the heats. He took the second one, 4th at the European Indoor Championships back in 2023. Dominik Ilewicki, 664, looked in control, challenged late as well, expected to finish fast. Ilewicki, talking finish fast, he came very, very late, dead center. Oliver Wiedewijk of Poland, 663. Look at the marks it took for them to qualify. How tight is this men's 60-meter final going to be? Needs to get out well. Andrew Robertson, the British vet, specializes in getting out well. Medalist at the European Indoors just last year behind his countryman Jeremiah Azu, representing Great Britain, Sale Harriers, Manchester. Ipi Takeda was on the outside in the heat. Managed to hang in there and sneak a 666 for the fastest time qualifier. And then in 8, Dennis Almas on the outside. Has this arena focused in on him. Can he overachieve? Can he take it to these men? 66-67 in the heat, ladies and gentlemen. It's still a very, very strong performance. So there's no room for error. Those who can stay relaxed through the early stages of this race could well take the title here in Dortmund. Oleu, Fernandez, Kopecz, Ilewicki, Wiedewijk, Robertson, Takeda, and Almas. Wiedewijk impressed in the heat. Kopecz, his countryman, gets out very well there in the red. He's hanging on. Who's going to take it on the line? It looks like Wiedewijk. A replay of these, and 6:55. They break 6:60. That was fast running, ladies and gentlemen, and he's done it again. Is anyone better than this man over the last 10 meters? Just look how close it was. Meet record for him. That's the 3rd of the day we've seen here in Dortmund. Women's pole vault, men's 800, and now the men's 60-meter final. Wiedewijk of Poland, here's a new name for you, 6:55. Ilewicki there in 2nd, lifetime best. Kopecz in 3rd, who for me led for the large majority of that men's 60, only to have it snatched away from him. Well, he'll be delighted. It's a World Indoor qualifying mark as well. Look at the ground. Look at the work he had to do here. I don't know if the camera angle is deceiving for us, but it certainly looked like Wiedewijk's last 10, 20 meters made all the difference. Well, he's a special performer, and all three inside the 6:59 World Indoor Qualifying time. Oliver, Vidovic, Ilevitsky, and Kopek in third. Bunchka then, last attempt at 5:40, needs it now more than ever. Two previous attempts haven't really challenged. So he's going to need to attack this one, especially through this plant phase. Oh, well, that was his best by far. The others, he didn't even get close. He had the height there. He just couldn't quite pull off the aerial flexibility right up at the top to go clear, but that's a shame for the German. This arena would have absolutely erupted had he have gone clear at that height and remained in the competition. Take another look. Oh, just clipping it with his upper body. I think he thought he was clear, just switching off a little bit. You have to act so fast up there. The corrections that you need to carry out. Such an intuitive event. Just rely on that muscle memory a little bit. Well, Bartonek has looked very, very good for me. But even him now starting to come under a little bit of pressure. Oh, here we are then, Filip Bartonek of the Czech Republic. He too fighting to stay in this competition. 5:40, third attempt. Oh, and he does it. He does it. And now the pressure has just been lifted. He can almost enjoy the rest of the competition. That's a sticky height, 5:40. And he knows that 5:50, getting much closer to his lifetime best. He would have trained at this height a lot more. And potentially even use the poles at this height. So let's see what he can do at the next height of 5:50. But let's have a look back. Comfortable clearance for him over 5:40. Smooth from Bartonek. Good vertical height as well. So Naraboma sits in fifth, largely because half the field fouled out on their first attempt, but second attempt for her, invalid. So that 12:26, a modest start. Failure in the second. She'll see what she can produce in the third round. To give you a little bit of context, the current leader, Kira Wittmann of Germany. So German leads 13:45. Her Belgian Giesi is in second, 13:24. Other than that, no one else has cleared 13 meters. And 6 athletes fouled out in their first attempt, as we see Bona's second attempt replay. One of the athletes to foul early on, Josie Krohn of Germany. Much better, good speed on the runway. This is definitely going to count. That one will score. And will also challenge 13 meters. Let's see what it comes in at. So it's a start. 12.97, right on the border of 13 meters. Not particularly happy with it, is she? And, well, probably understandable. And she is a 13.43 jumper. However, a season's best of only 13 meters. I thought she'd be a little happier with that one. Philip Bartonek then will go first at 5.50. Oh, the skill to run and plant and get up there. Oh! Well, I thought we were going to see him go clear. And this is what I mean about that pressure just being lifted at this height a little more. He can attack it, doesn't overthink it. It's a very, very good first attempt for him, though. Well, the men's 400, there will be two finals in this one. And here are your men who will line up in final one. 5 of them. These bends are tight. It is going to take a tactical masterclass, I think, to run away with this one in the men's 400. Because obviously they break after a lap. Things get very bunched, very aggressive. And positioning is absolutely key. Well, Jonathan Secours in the Belgian. 46.30. Very impressive outdoors. I mean, that's his indoor time. For me, he's a much, much better outdoor runner. Has produced some amazing results when it comes to the outdoors. But it's going to be between these two, isn't it? I mean, Jean-Paul Bredal of Germany, 45.94. Bredal was 7th in that European Championship final. 45.80, by the way, time to look out for these men. That's the World Indoor qualifying mark. I think both Bredal and Secours will be looking for that. Right on the inside, in Marcin Karalushki, 47.10. His lifetime best. And again, he's a man that if he's in there late, he can make some quite aggressive moves. He can change pace well, but he actually just needs to be in contention in order to change pace. So, your men's 400 meters. Couple stars on the outside, Jonathan Secours and Jean-Paul Bredal of Germany. Both of them born in the same year, the turn of the century, 1999. Secours, for me, tactically very astute. He is in the purple in 6. Well, how's this one going to play out then? Secours gets out well. The powerful German on the inside of him, determined to perhaps get to the stagger first. Interestingly, Secours relaxes through this opening 200. Perhaps he's content to sit in behind Bredal. And I tell you what, Blake is challenging as well to get that inside line. So Bredal gets it. Secours finds himself in 3rd. And he'll just have to stay relaxed through this bottom bend. He's going to challenge on the back straight. I talk about that change of pace. Look at this aggressive move from the Belgian. German holds his line. Has Secours blowing through all his energy now, all his reserves, and challenging on the back stretch. Is it going to be a German victory here in Dortmund? Yes, it is. And that aggressive early surge pays off. 46.00 for Jean-Paul Bredal. And that was deserved for me. It was bold, it was brave, but you've got to be. Indoor 400-meter running is not for the faint-hearted. And with these tight bends in Dortmund, you can see that's a meet record. And these bends are so, so tight. 46.48, almost half a second in the end. As Secours tied up. And Blake probably cost Secours that race for his aggressive 200 and getting himself into 2nd place. Was the right thing to do. So let's have a look at the replay, and I think Secours will just look back and be frustrated he didn't get out more aggressive. There's Bredal. And look, the time that Secor lost in the opening 100 was eventually the gap he lost by at the end. There's your winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our 4th meet record here in Dortmund. Women's pole vault, men's 800, men's 60, and now the men's 400. Bartonek, has he done it? Will that bar stay up? Yes, it will. Looks up relieved. Gets off the mat as quick as possible. 550 clearance for the Czech star. And I'm very impressed with him. I mean, season's best of 55. Now, he'll get ever closer to that lifetime best of 561. That men's could call it the B final in the 400 to come next. However, I have seen B finals go quicker than A finals as we look at how close was Bartonek to getting over that one. Well, there's Matteo Oliveri as well. It's always amazing how close these vaulters are. They may compete against each other, but they are often the best of friends. And they spend so much time with each other on the circuit. You see the Belgian sits in 3rd at the moment in this women's triple jump. What a crowd behind her. Ooh. Didn't like that initial takeoff, did she? Was she just gesturing to a slip on the board? Potentially? Very frustrated. That's looking like a gesture just to say she slipped as she took off, and then obviously that is going to affect the rest of the jumping pattern. So the Belgian who sits in 3rd still has plenty of time to work things out in this triple jump. And this is your leader, Whitman. Tall, rangy athlete, fouls it on this one though. Just crossing that line, lying in 1st place. 13:45. Kira Whitman. And the more this competition goes on, you do look, that is a mark. We've got a few women over that 14-meter barrier, but I always find in the triple jump, especially early season, athletes can be a long way off their best. And depending how fast the runway is and all things like that, it could well be a winning jump. Time will tell. Maja Askak of Sweden. Oh, that's a big foul. She would have known it through that mid-phase. Through the skip and jump. So 2 fouls for her. Wonder when the pressure builds a bit. Wonder when they start to get a little frustrated. At the moment, very calm. No, she's got 4 to go. Everyone will get 6 jumps. There will be no cutoff. But this was quite a big foul. You can see almost the whole foot beyond that crucial black line. I think even Askak was just double checking that. So then line up for you, the men's final over 400 meters. There has been 2 finals. This is the 2nd final, arguably the B final, just given the names in there. Don't want to disrespect these men, but given the quality of that previous race. And when you go on lifetime bests, you'll this final suggests it is the lesser of the two and may well be the slower of the two as well. So, Raimondi on the outside, Matteo Raimondi, 46-42. Saying that, it was only 46-0 that won this, but these bends are very, very tight in Dortmund. So, sharp bends, long straights. Raimondi. Steep banks to work with. Well, the German, Fabian Damerman, actually won here last year, Damerman, so enjoys this arena. Perhaps negotiate these bends better than anyone. Pedro Afonso, a youngster to look out for. In fact, this is just 18 years of age, his debut on the World Tour circuit, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Ericsson Tavares, lifetime best, 46-72, and Portugal have always had a good 4x4 team. They've always challenged for those finals at the Europeans and World Indoors. And those two perhaps looking for a spot there. Kulseng. Kulseng of Norway, 24-year-old, and Thuyan Pajev right on the inside. The Hungarian will need a very, very fast start to try and get amongst this race and be involved. That's what you want to do. Well, Brador just waiting to give his interview in case they go quicker in this second final. Men's 400 meters. Second of two finals. A German won the first. Can a German win the second? So there's Damerman in 5. He wears that red vest just on the inside of the Italian Raimondi. It's close. Nothing to separate the top three at the moment. Tavares has actually started very, very fast. The Portuguese athlete coming around this bend. Let's see what happens when the stagger unwinds. So it's the two athletes from Portugal who lead dead center. They're going to fight. It's the younger of the two. Look at this from Afonso. Talk about a debut on the World Tour circuit. Damerman just getting a little cut up at the bell lap as he breaks, but Alfonso pours it on down the backstretch. Tavares, the senior of the two, will be wondering what on earth is going on. Pedro Afonso then of Portugal is going to obliterate the field. He's tying up drastically, needs to hold that line on the inside, can't let anyone through. He gets it, 46-69. I was worried for him. I thought he might open the door to his teammate Tavares to come through, but also had to drift out to hold off the fast finishing Damerman on his outside. So a time worthy of that A final really from Afonso, but had a clean run at it. But the meet record confirmed for that man. German victor in the men's 400, Jean-Paul Bradal. And let's hear from him. Looks to be trackside. We're about to get an interview from him. Confirmation of the men's 400 meters. You can see Afonso, third overall, wins that second final. Third overall. And Secor and Bradal, then two heavy hitters. Go 1-2 as expected.
Ich gebe aber trotzdem noch mal ein, du hast es mir gerade so erzählt, aber du hast auch noch offiziell sagen. Was sollen wir vor der deutschen Meisterschaft noch mal machen? Auch noch mal durchlüften. Ganz schön schickige Luft, aber wir sind noch mal so halb drin. In der Ecke werden Würste verkauft da oben, das ist Waffen. Wir sind eigentlich 60 Meter auf der Ordnung auf den 4 Meter läuft oder für längere Distanzen. Das ist schon ganz schön schickig. Aber schau mal, jetzt hast du das Würstchen verdient. Oh, ich weiß nicht, ob ich jetzt noch mal reingehen. Wir freuen uns auf Wiedersehen in 3 Wochen bei den Deutschen und natürlich dann vielleicht auch wieder für die Anwälte. Dankeschön. Danke dir. Alles Gute. Dortmund wieder.
Well, there was no questions. Deserving victor on the day, Bradal. The men's 400 meters. Philip Bartonek then 5:58. Interestingly, the bar's gone to 5:58. This will be a season's best for him if he goes clear. That currently sits at 5:55. Well, he's being wheeled on by the competitors. It's not a bad first attempt. Bartonek leading the Czech hopes in the pole vault, really. And he will have an eye on those European Championships this year in Birmingham. I think it's a special year for the Europeans. Whenever there's Europeans that lands in a non-global championship year, so a non-worlds or a non-Olympic year, it really is fierce competition. Everyone's sort of gearing towards it. No one choosing to pass or go in a contest a weaker event. Here's Boehmer in the triple jump. Turn back to her. That looked good on the board. Bit better. Might challenge 12:50 or so. So we did have a little change in. Velasco leads the Cuban 14:53 in the second. Leads this women's triple jump. The Yara Boehmer in 12:52. So a slight improvement for her. And she'll be relatively pleased with the fact that she was spot on the board. Just needs to carry that momentum through that hop skipper jump a little better. So Oliveri in the men's pole vault. Matteo Oliveri goes clear, 5:58, first attempt. Thank you very much. Season's best of 5:60 and looking good. Perfect scorecard for the Italian. Well, will this competition take him? He knows who he's up against. Sazmas of Turkey. A regular European finalist, 50 at the Olympic Games. Sazmas, 5:92 is best, but Oliveri will be hunting him down. He's going toe for toe with one of the best in Europe. Well, it's now time for the women's 200, and just like the men's 400, we'll have two finals, and this will be the first. One lap of the track. And I mentioned how these bends are pretty tight here in Dortmund. They're going to feel extremely sharp for these 200-meter runners. 400 just running at a slightly slower velocity. So Tusulaka of Greece there on the outside. Well, we saw her go in this 60. Takacs then of Hungary, 23:56, her lifetime best. This is an unusual event. It's rarely run indoors. Fotopoulou, again, a regular over 60 meters indoors. This one, bit of endurance work for her. 23.2, her lifetime best. No doubt about it, she is Cyprus's leading sprinter. Mortalina. Nimic. And Elias Sibbons then on the inside, the Brit, 23.96, her best indoors. Lumen Essex Beagles. So then the pole, Nijmegen is, well, has got to be the favourite on paper. He's one of Europe's best under-23 sprinters. 22 years of age and progressing steadily out of that under-23 age group into the seniors. But I'm surprised with the lane draw she has been given in 3. I would have expected to see her on the outside, if I'm brutally honest. Sibbons, Nijmegen, Fotopoulou, Takacs and Sukala on the outside. Well, good start by Ordin. Let's see if Naimčić can work her way back to these women over on the far side. You'll know that stagger won't help her on the top end. It's a good start from Takac as well. The Hungarian just edging ahead at the moment. Watch out for Fotopoulou as well, coming through for Cyprus, but the fastest on paper trying to hang on in there, but Fotopoulou is going to have the momentum coming off that bench. She'll take it, 23-38. And I think Naimčić is going to be very frustrated with that lane draw. She had the leg speed, didn't she? But Fotopoulou just coming off that bend. Gravity on her side. Pulled her towards the finish line. So there we are, 23-38. Season's best for the rarely run indoor 200 meters. It's not a world indoor event. We won't see it at the championships. Merely an opportunity for these women. They may well contest it at their national championships, but not every nation does. Well, talk about conserving energy. Look at this scorecard. A talented Turk. 5:58. First attempt, only his second vault of the day. Ooh, wow. Probably showing he's a little rusty. Doesn't look good. Ankle. Cramp. Foot seems to just have been, is stuck in that position. Sajma. Well, he's going to need to work a few things out if he's to go clear on the second. Getting off the mat better than he arrived. But still, gingerly walking things off. Didn't look to see anything wrong with the plant. Was it the way he landed? Wow, he's going to need to seek some medical assistance, I think. Chat with coach. Well, there's Compass. Robert Compass, the Estonian. Oh, that's good, isn't it? The national champion over there, Pavel Star. When it's a lifetime best for him. Well, he passed at 5:50, and I think he felt that he had a PB on the cards today. That was his old lifetime best, 5:50. He didn't just want to match it. He wanted to go way past it, and he does it just. "20 years of age, developing very, very well, this man. We'll see him feature in the Europeans. Oh, here goes Bartonek. 58, another man who wants to get another season's best, edging closer to his lifetime best. Oh, okay. Well, and if one of these men was to go clear, it would put the pressure on Sajma, who we know is moving a little gingerly down there. So the Czech start, decent first attempt. Second attempt, apologies. One more to go for him to take the scalp of Sajma of Turkey. And I know he's on the cusp of something special.
Welcome again to Dortmund, and congratulations to this time, 23:38.
You can see one of the few events that really heavily relies on video analysis, the pole vault. After every vault, they are breaking it down, talking with the coach, looking at angles, vertical clearance, depth of the jump, aerial awareness, everything. They consider it all.
What do you think? How hot is this seat for you?
Well, you could see them interviewing Fotopoulou down there in the hot seat, as they're referring to it.
Yeah, let's get it cold. But first of all, it's going to get hot on the track again, and we'll see the second heat over the 200. Es geht weiter mit dem zweiten Lauf über 200 Meter. Und wir sind gespannt, genauso wie Philippa, was da rauskommt.
One of the reasons she finds herself in the hot seat is because we have the second heat of the women's 200 to go next. I say heat, second final, and whoever the fastest athletes are overall will take home the title, will take home potentially a meet record, a world leader 22.53. It is commonly run in America, the 200, but less so on the European circuit. Well, Kenondra Davis of America certainly wants to watch, has an equal lifetime best of Naimic, who we saw had a difficult lane draw, and Davis has a good lane draw in 5. So Aino Pulkkinen, 23.55, her lifetime best. The Finnish star. They're having a good day, the Finns here in Dortmund. So a good acceleration. Killebrew, America, 23 mid. Can she hang in her countrywoman? Luna Barman of Germany will have to really be at it today, and will have to get up very, very fast just to stay in contention. Difficult being on those inside lanes because you don't get any momentum coming off the bank in that final straightaway. And well, there's Mont of Chile in 1. That is a harsh lane draw. These bends are extremely tight here in Dortmund. And interestingly, that's a skill of Fotopoulou. She's always been very, very good on the bends. So the young American in Kenondra Davis is certainly one to watch. World-class under 20 experience. She goes in 5 there in the blue. And any American is always one to be reckoned with because they are used to doing a lot of 200-meter indoor races. You come through that junior system, that NCAA system. The 200 meters is a regular event on the circuit over there. Less so here in Europe. So can Davis get away fast enough? If she has a lead going into that final bend, you'd bank her to hold it as she attacks that first bank over on the far side. Pulkkinen just cannot live with her. It's the 2 Americans who look to be in the driver's seat at the moment, with Killebrew on the inside of Pulkkinen the Finn. But look at Kenondra Davis just accelerate away. What a start and what a run. Destroys this field, 23.06. Wow. It's a lifetime best for her. And that will take the overall victory as well in this second final. Another American, 24.36 there in second. Baumann coming through there for 3rd. Very impressive behind Pulkkinen, due to her lane draw. And Mont there in 5th.
Congratulations for a personal best and the victory.
Well, it was all in the start for me. You've just got to get out so hard, and this is where the experience comes in. She's run the 200 indoors on so many occasions, and she knows you have to really attack things on that first back stretch, especially when you have a lane draw like that. You know you're going to get a bit of assistance coming off that final turn as the bank drops away down the home stretch. Second attempt for Sasma. Well, it was very similar to the first, but only on the first the difference was he gingerly steps off the mat, so something not quite right with him. And I wonder if it's one of the reasons he's decided to pass at so many heights. Was it tactical or was it physical? Well, there's your results, ladies and gentlemen. Kenondra Davis with the victory. Fotopoulou in second. Neimschick in third, 23.68 for her, the pole. And the first German, Luna Baumann, down there in 8th. So PB for Davis as well. Rather surprisingly, Eino Polkinen, a disappointing 9th from one of the fastest on paper coming into this one.
Do you want to go on pro? Do you want to go pro? Is that what you follow up with? And we wish you all the best for that and for the rest of your very long career and very fast career, hopefully. Hello, Raiders. Thanks so much for coming. Congratulations.
Bartonek getting closer and closer. Oh! Bows out the Czech athlete. Well, what a competition he's had, though. Gets very, very close to his lifetime best. And I'm sure there's going to be more of him to come throughout the 2026 indoor campaign and into outdoors. I mean, these pole vaulters won't really stop now until the summer. Maybe they'll have a 3 or 4 week period after the championships indoors where they won't compete. But once they get going again in the summer, they'll be at it until September. You have to admire their consistency throughout the year. So we have 4 more track events to go. The men's 1500 meters will be next. The women's 800 will be shortly after them before the men's 60-meter hurdles final and the women's 60-meter final to crown off the action here in Dortmund. We cannot wait. Well, Joyeux then sits in 4th. Can she improve on that 13.52? Good on the board. It's going to count. It looks like it might be an improvement. Maybe very close to 13.52. So consistent from Joyeux. Velasco, the Cuban, still leading, by the way, with a huge margin of 14.53. I mean, cut above the rest. I don't think she's going to be touched. Well, there you are, 13.33. Interestingly, Joyeux is in equal 3rd place. Both her and Grafin Kieselink have jumps 13.52. So to stay in the competition, it would be disappointing. He's had 1 clearance at 5.40. It's not happening for him. It is not happening for him. He is injured, and that is sad to see, especially as we near the World Indoors. It's on the horizon. And at the start, I thought he was playing it awfully cool. You know, he had only 1 attempt, clears 5.40. And is it his Achilles or something? But something's not happening. That is a real shame. Oh, wow, well. It's world-class jumping from Velasco, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the golfing class down there. The Cuban just floating along the runway, making it look absolutely effortless. Near perfect on the board. Continues to be perfect throughout all 3 of those phases. And it's another consistent 14.40, 14.50 jump for her. So the next event on the track will be the men's 1500 meters. Luke McCann, certainly an athlete to watch out for. We'll go in this against a whole host of Germans. It's going to be busy out there. These banks are tight. Vermeulen. Moberg is the one for me that we've got to look out for. I mean, the youngster. You've seen Jakob Ingebrigtsen sidelined. And so he takes the Norwegian mantle and looks to drive it forward through this indoor campaign. Well, Zan Rudolph, the Slovenian, certainly one to focus on. And I believe today he may well have the job of pacing this field. And with no wave lights, that actually is quite a skill. With the introduction of wave lights, I I'm not sure how much you can credit pacemakers for being on pace anymore, but this youngster really is producing some fine performances. Double European under-20 champion last year. 3:30 for 1,500 meters. World lead stands at 3:32. Cam Myers, will Moberg break it? Elliot Vermeulen, the Belgian, 3:42 this year. Another youngster, just 20 years of age. Oh, Marius Prost, the German veteran, 3:36 when he is at his best. He's going to have to be if he's going to live with the youngster Moberg, who is absolutely fearless. He really is. So to be honest, I'm surprised we haven't seen Moberg in some higher caliber fields. He won a few weeks ago on the circuit, set the world lead of 3:34. Cam Myers has since broke that. So where they go then, also an athlete to look out for is Luke McCann there, just the tall Irish figure in the all black strip right in behind the athlete in the red vest. And he's been working back from injury, Luke McCann, but outdoors he's a 3:33 performer, and they are absolutely hammering round. Focusing on McCann, look at Moberg right in behind Rudolph. He would have had that world lead snatched from him just last week by Cam Myers, and he wants it back. 27:56 for that opening lap. Well, the debate is starting to be echoed, isn't it? Is the 1,500 meters a young man's game? You look at who is out there performing as we just turn to this men's pole vault. Compass, 5:65 first attempt. Another youngster from one 20-year-old to the other. Oh, there we are, 56:20 through 400 meters. Jan Rudolph is very aggressive. Moberg, well, we do get flashbacks. We remember what Jakob was like at this age. Moberg is breaking his records. He'll be eyeing up the World Indoor Championships. You just know he will. He's got the qualifying mark under his belt already. Through 400. He is a cut above this field. Is this too ambitious? A 28.6. 124 at 600. But this is where 1,500 meter running has got to now. Aggressive, front running tactic. Take it to the field early on. Fearless youngsters are out there leading the way. I mean, look at what Sam Ruth is doing, Cam Myers, Niels Laros, and now this man, and now Moberg. Introducing himself to the very best of the world. This could be special. We'll keep an eye on the clock. I'm slowly just mesmerized by the way he is just moving around this track. And those behind him are low 3:30 runners at their very best. Credit to McCann coming back from injury. We'll look out for this 1 kilometer split, 2:23, so he is slowing just a touch. It's him against the clock now. And he's running himself into form this indoor campaign is Moberg, the young Norwegian, the double European junior champion last year in the summer. He closed out to win that European title over 1,500 in a 52 last lap. It was staggering stuff. And he has lifted the pace. And this is interesting for me. The previous lap at 28 mid, this one coming in under 28 seconds. He is getting after it. Håkon Moberg then of Norway. Here's the bell lap. This could be something special. 3:32 is the world lead of Cam Myers. The rest of the field only just hearing the sound of the bell. The crowd lifting Moberg around this phenomenal arena. We've seen greats here in the past, and we are witnessing another one. He is here to stay, a 31.2. I'm questioning these lap splits now. Regardless, keep an eye on the clock. The young Norwegian, the fearless Norwegian, 3:34.02. Well, it's an indoor lifetime best for him. And what can he do with a little more competition over the second half of that race? And it's another meet record as well, confirmation of that. Crossed in 3:38. Certainly would have given the crowd something to cheer about behind the talent of Moberg. And Vermeulen coming across the line in third, 3:39.48. And Heinrich as well, so a couple sub 3:40, which used to be pretty decent indoor 1500 meter running. And that's going back 10 years or so now, because this guy is ripping up the script alongside other junior athletes. Sami Laros, Cam Myers, Sam Ruth. The future of the metric mile. Well, just checking in with Compass there, shaking her head. This pole vault competition has just two men left. We have Matteo Oliveri and Robert Compass. Failure at 5:65. Oliveri went clear. He is just flying. No failures from Oliveri, the Italian, hence why we haven't seen much of him. Haven't had the opportunity. Compass delighted with that one. Previous clearance of 5:58. So it's a system update, 5:65 clearance from Compass. So we then move. Where will we go to next? In that men's pole vault. One presumes 5:72, 5:73 perhaps. Well, here goes Kudla. Consistent scorecards, ever improving. And oh, that's a foul. Yep, you can see that on the board. So unfortunate for Kudla. She was building 12:65, 13:21, 13:31. And now we'll just have to reset a little bit before the final two rounds here in Dortmund.
Die Reihenfolge hat sich geändert nach dem dritten Durchgang. Jetzt also die besten Sprinterinnen zuletzt. Demnach momentan auf dem 5. Rang die nächste Athletin aus Slowenien, Lea Filipic.
Lea Filipic sits in 5th. It's awfully close in this women's triple jump. If she can just improve 10 centimeters or so, that will lift her up. That will take her up 2 spots. It'll put her up into 3rd. What's she got? Invalid. So foul on the board for Filipic, and she knows it's agonizingly close at 3rd place. Joint 3rd place by Juju and Graffin. 13:52. Well within her grasp. Well within her grasp. You just see, ooh, close on the board. Couldn't tell from a distance, could you? However, the sensors in there are so quick. And that is one of the improvements that World Athletics wanted in order for the long jump and the jumps, long jump, triple jump in general, to be a little more interactive and engaging. The time taken to identify whether it's a foul or a valid attempt needed to be quicker, but also measuring the distance in both the jumps needs to be a much quicker and efficient process. The crowd need to know almost instantly, and that is what they continue to work on. The technology is fascinating regarding that. Okay, Joyeux, as I mentioned, 13:52, sits in joint 3rd with Graffin, Kieselink, the Germans. So the Germans go 2, 3, and 4 in this women's triple jump here in Dortmund. High stepping Joyeux, she's good on the board, runs through, loses the power through, skipping the jump right at the end there. So conserving a little bit of energy perhaps. Next track event, just in case you're wondering, the women's 800 off in just a couple minutes time. Now Candice Huno, French star. 570 for Campus. What a day he's having, and it almost got better. A little perplexed there. Was he bowing out of the competition, or simply just acknowledging the crowd and how much they've helped him throughout the afternoon? So your women's 800-meter final next on the track. That meet record of 2:01 for me is under threat by that woman, dead center, the only French athlete in the field, Lena Candice-Sunen. What a talent she is. Just on the cusp of breaking 2 minutes indoors. She's done it outdoors. Medalist. Multiple French national champion and medalist there, recent medalist, but I was going to say just missing out on the medals at Europeans back in 2024 as well. Yannick of Germany, another athlete to look out for. Formela of Poland, Alexandra Formela, 2:01.53 her best. Steady improvement over the last 2 years. Whenever you see an athlete just continue to improve, always dangerous. Candice-Sunen leads the field on paper, fast, smart, and has a strong finishing kick. Can she be beat? And look out for Tanja Spill. The German Maria Frey, as well of Sweden. Steady pacing, again, can be dangerous in tactical races, but if it's hard from the gun, may struggle. Grobly, Swiss athlete, still developing, born in 2001, 25 years of age, and I'm sure would have seen Audrey Vero's fine performance just a few days ago. Well under 2 minutes once again from Vero. Oh, Mia Haas will be delighted to be a part of this field, I think, and can she just live with some of these world-class athletes above her? Huge opportunity for Haas on home soil. Your women's 800 meters. Eyes on 4. That's Candice-Sunen of France, and they will stay in lanes for the first 2 bends, as we know. We're getting used to seeing now, but it makes it difficult to judge these 800-meter races when you are on your own in lanes for the best part of 165 meters, give or take. But it does make it much, much smoother when they break over on the far side. Interestingly, nobody looking to rush to the front in this women's 800. Things are swift, but not incredibly fast. 28.2 there through that opening 200. So Candice-Sunen, the French star, just missing out on the medals at European Championships a couple years back, now glides her way into second place behind the pacemaker. And I was quite surprised to see her not find herself there after that opening lap. Spill moves in behind her as well in second. So the 2 athletes who are the class of the field, Spill 2:03.0 her lifetime best, 59.7, so setting themselves up to attack that 2-minute barrier. It would take a lot of strength to keep this sort of tempo going. You can see the difference in lap times. 28.29 compared to a 31. Pacer pulls off then. What's Candice-Sunen got over the final 250 meters or so? Spill up on her shoulder. The French athlete, for me, looks relaxed and just looks to be biding her time. Cannot open the door at the bell. Has to close it. How has she let Spill come through on the inside? That is so surprising. And now having to react. That is poor tactical knowledge from Candice-Sunen, making this very difficult for her. Comes back past Spill over on the far side. 100 to run in this women's 800. But Candice Sunanen, despite the tactical error, showing her class, pulling away from the German. Could have gone better today, but the win is always the most important thing. And the French woman will take it, 2:02.34, and a good last lap. It's the kind of close you want to see if you're going to make it out the heats at a World Indoor Championships. But for me, perhaps we'll struggle to even get there. But we won't take that away from her, because a win here on a track that is difficult, the bends are tight. So Candice Sunanen, Spiel, Formila, Frey. You can see almost a full second between Candice Sunanen and Spiel in the end. Exactly a second, in fact. Season's best for the German. Good to see a PB down there as well from Haas. Well, we look at the best bits of that women's 800. However, we missed that tactical error. I wanted to take another look at that. You cannot leave the door ajar with 200 to go in an 800, especially indoors. However, the result was unchanged. It went to the form, but Candice Sunanen wins. Spiel in second, Formila there in third, and 2:02.34. It won't shock the world, but it's a confidence booster for the French athlete. Oh, Giesi has struggled since the first round, 13:24. Saw her gesturing that perhaps slipped on the board a couple of times as well. That's better, it will be valid. Really gave it some on that, but I don't think it's going to be much of an improvement on that first round attempt. So the frustration you can see, it's being let down a little bit. Pick up in the body language from Giesi. Not quite clicking for her. Wow, a little way off the board. So certainly room to improve. So at 13:20, it's getting back to where she started, but only one more round to correct things. Here's good luck. And again, you look at that scorecard was building. We saw that foul in the fourth. 13:52, by the way, is joint third. She's more than capable of doing that. Good on the board. Here we are. Oh, just lost it. Did you just go off to the right a bit? Between the hop and the skip. Just looked to veer to one side of the runway. Might have just cost her, lost her a little bit of that speed through those phases. So 13 meters exactly. Well, Sarah Michelle Goodler of Germany stays in 6th place. No change. In fact, we've seen very little change in this women's long jump, in this women's triple jump competition. Apologies. We did have the men's long jump earlier on in the day. Balde winning that one of Portugal. Simone Bartz in second, the French, the German athlete. Naya Filipic. Three-point start for her. It's going to be a foul, unfortunately. She would have felt it the minute she took off. It just feels different. Next track event, ladies and gentlemen, is the men's 60-meter hurdles final. You can see, yeah, almost the whole mid-foot over the line. Just looks to be working a little hard. Going in to the board, does Filipic.
Gültiger Versuch. Wie gesagt, sie momentan die gleiche Weite wie
That's impressive speed there from Grafin. Kieselink, we'll just see what that came in at. 13:47, so getting back to her best. Can she cement third place? It'll take an improvement on 13:52. Currently in joint third with Caroline Jouy. Here we are then, the men's 60-meter hurdles final. It's what we've been waiting for, isn't it? So this is a very, very interesting story of events. So Jajska, who was disappointing in the heats, you could say that, finds himself in the final and actually finds himself with a very, very good lane draw as well. So not sure what's happened there, but we will focus on the here and now and who lines up in this men's 60-meter hurdles final. Leo Achkar of France goes right on the inside, 7:87. Right on his best to make it into this. Volzer started well for me. Just needs a clean run over those middle hurdles, and he can feature towards the end of this race. He knows it. Stefan Volzer. The German, well, he was mightily impressive, wasn't he? Kola Majnik. Joanna Majnik took the race by the scruff of the neck. It was a clean performance and finished just 100th of a second outside his lifetime best. Well, Jajska, he's the most experienced man in this field. He's been fourth on multiple occasions at not just the World Championships, but the European Championships as well. Could this be the year he gets on top of the podium? Well, it starts now. It starts here today. Ronan Greff, another Frenchman who looked in fine form in the heats and punched way above his weight with 7:75. But Laka was the victor in that first heat. Elmo Laka of Finland knows he just has to replicate that. He's a clean hurdler, and it's going to take a clean run to win today. Gianno Roberts, he is a former NCAA champion back in 2023 over the 60-meter hurdles. Now that is a title not to be reckoned with. And Job Gertz goes on the outside. Very disappointing from him in the heats. On paper, he's the favorite. He's a man in form. And he's probably a benchmark for a lot of those in this field. However, for one reason or another, was not at the races when it came to that heat and scrapes into this final. So, Achkar goes on the inside. Volzer in 2. Kolomajnik in 3. Jajska in 4. Greff in 5. Laka in 6. Roberts of Jamaica in 7. And Gertz, as we just saw, on the outside in 8. Your men's 60-meter hurdles final. Expected to come down to a photo finish. Can Jajska get out better than he did in the heats? Well, Kola Majnik impressed. It's another false start. Well, I'm still stunned how Jajska is in this final, but he ran under protest. In the heat, and is now in this final. Anyway, let's have a look at a replay of this start. Who is responsible for this false start? This is the 6th false start we've seen today, ladies and gentlemen, and that goes across the 60 meters and the 60-meter hurdles. We've had heats in both of those events. So anxiety will just lift. You can see 5 officials crowd round. the information they'll get from those starting blocks will feed into that computer there. And if they have reacted quicker than 1/10 of a second, it will be deemed as humanly impossible and a false start. Oh, and that's a real shame. Is it a red card there for Kolomansky? Oh, there you are. Kolomajnik. You can see clearly there by the graphic, 0.08. That is a false start. And are we going to see another athlete run under protest? We're seeing it more and more now on the World Tour level as athletes run under protest. Kira Whitman. Talk of a false start. We move from that to a foul. She knew it straight away, didn't she? You can tell just started to lose a little bit of focus and drive through those middle phases, but still sits in second, the German. So Kolomajnik is going to run. And you can see his starting block lit up red behind him. That is to say he's been disqualified, but he will run under protest. And he looked very impressive in the heat. So interestingly, he might be the first man to cross the tape here. And I wonder how those around him feel. I'm all for running under protest in a heat, but in a final, should that be allowed? Here we are then. Men's 60-meter hurdles final. So away we go then, eyes on those two athletes in purple. However, Elmo Laka looked very impressive in the heats. Is he going to be able to beat Zajska? No, he's not. And the pole takes it, corrects all of his errors in the heats. And he'll come away with the victory here today. Damian Zajska, ladies and gentlemen, well, he's the class of the field. And he's shown us why in that one. And he relies on a good start. If he doesn't, his race gets very, very messy. Equals the meet record, 7:58. I mean, 7:61 unofficially. Confirmed at 7:58. Well, Velasco, from one world-class athlete to another, the Cuban, storming clear in this women's triple jump. No one can get on terms with her whatsoever. And that is a reason why she's got a huge smile on her face. $14.53 in the second round. Lifetime best for Velasco. Well, there's the results. Your men's 60. Look at that. Zajska, 7:58. Laka, good result for him. Equals his season best. 7:65. Gref, good. Better in the final from the Dutchman. And Robert settling for 5th, the Jamaican, former NCAA champion. Boy, did we have some class in that field. So Zajska just clipping that second, but then the confidence he got from pulling away from Kolomajnik just carried him down the rest of the straightaway, didn't he? There was no doubt about it. I thought we were going to have a photo finish. Nothing of the sorts. Ooh, close from Oliveri. Matteo Oliveri. He's got this. I believe he's got it wrapped up. Cleared at 65, passing at 70, now going for the big one. Yeah, Koppus retiring after a lifetime best in the pole vault. Very interesting decision for me. And there you are, you can see Kolomajnik disqualified, even though he still featured and ran under protest. So the Polish Leica starting to shape up very, very well ahead of what will be the busy few weeks, national championships to come, and then the World Indoor Championships, which he will be a part of, 4th at the World Championships in Eugene in 2022. Is there a bit of an opportunity this year at the World Indoors to get amongst the medals? We haven't quite got the big hitters we've had at the previous World Indoor Championships last year, and of course in Glasgow in 24. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more event of the afternoon. It will be the women's 60-meter final. It's been a special day here in Dortmund, and this 4,000 strong crowd have really took it to these athletes. The atmosphere has just bounced around this quite stunning arena, home of the Olympia Dortmund club. And there's confirmation of your women's triple jump as well. Velasco winning that one with a huge 14.53. No one within half a meter of her. Whitman in second, the German, and strong German presence in that women's triple jump final. So really getting the crowd behind them. Well, this was GER's final jump. He's had a bit of a frustrating afternoon. And equaling pretty much where she's been earlier on in the competition. So 5 meeting records here in Dortmund. It's a bronze label tour, but I tell you what, I don't think it'll be a bronze tour for much longer. The pedigree and the level of athletes we have come through here each year. I mean, Mahambo in the past. It's just been a joy to watch here. We've had Georgia Hunter-Bell, one of the best middle distance stars in the world right now. Opened up her indoor campaign in 2024 here, coincidentally. And then even today, Moberg impressed in that 1500, 334.0. Let's see Kudla's final jump in the women's triple. 13.31 for 6th. Good on the board, just shy of 13 meters for her. Well, 12.76, quite a long way shy in the end for Kudla. As the crowd, a long way shy of the board as well. A long, long way short for her, so it explains the lack of distance on the jump itself. Well, you can see those women 60-meter runners will be called out into this arena. It's some real showbiz stuff. So running a little bit behind here in Dortmund. Naya Filipic sits in 5th. Knows she's got 13 centimeters. Will get her up into equal 3rd. 14 will confirm 3rd place. Good on the board. Well, it could well challenge. 6th and final round. We are witnessing in these women's triple jump. $13.63, pulls it out. Right at the death here in this women's triple jump, and that will push her into 3rd, put the pressure now on Joyeux, who also sits in third. Let's have a look. Replay of Matteo Oliveri's previous vault. Just knocking it at the top there, and it's been a fantastic competition for him. He took some serious scalps. And the Italian, for me, he went for 572, but the Italian, for me, is really building nicely throughout the early part of 2026. Might be one to watch come those European Championships in Birmingham. Not sure if he'll be able to get to the World Indoors. Joyeux, can she claim back third place in this one? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. So these women saving the best till last. Naya Filipic in third. Oh, wow, it doesn't get much closer than that. 13.62, a centimeter off the podium here in Dortmund. Prize money on the line. Will have to settle for fourth. Caroline Joyeux. So, Naya Filipic. So there's confirmation of the men's pole vault. Matteo Oliveri, 5.65, season's best. PB, lifetime best there for Robert Kompus of Estonia, the youngster, 20 years of age. Decided not to continue once he'd achieved that lifetime best. Had an attempt at 5.70 and then decided to retire from the competition. Bartonek, the Czech prodigy, 5 meters in 50 there in third as well. Satma, unfortunately, struggling with injury here today, so we didn't get to see the best of the Turkish star. So the final event of the afternoon here in Dortmund, it is on what is a huge weekend in track and field. There are several meetings taking place in Metz, in Karlsruhe, in the US as well, and there has been gold tours over the last few days as well in Ostrava and Madrid. The indoor circuit is hotting up, and it doesn't get much hotter than this women's 60-meter final. Look at this then, look out for Svoboda. For me, she still remains the European sprint force to beat, especially over 60. Very fast out the blocks, and has already proven her medal-winning credentials. But let's meet the rest of the field. It's not just Svoboda in this one, and in fact, she was beaten in the qualifying round. So, Stefanovic, the other Polish athlete who goes in this final, she will be in lane 1. And I tell you what, Mabel Akande looked very, very good in the heats. Can she step up from that 7:30 to qualify for the final? We'll go in 2. Iwa Svoboda then qualified, but didn't win, wasn't convincing in the heats, but we know what she can produce. The Polish star choosing to just carefully walk their way out, saving all of those fast twitch fibers for when the gun goes. Rebecca Hasse of Germany looked very, very impressive. This is the athlete the Germans will hang their hopes on. Olympic and World Championship relay medalist over the years. Kempinen looked very, very impressive for me, the flying Finn. Combined experience and technical consistency. She's one of the best over the first 20 or 30 meters. A threat to win this. Viola John. An impressive German who continues to develop well and actually had a very, very good start in the heat. Sophia Young. You can see how close she was to her lifetime best as well. Patiently makes her way out. Looks fired up and ready. Can a German deliver here in Dortmund? Between Hasse John and Junk, surely it's possible. Celine Berge then had a tough lane draw, was right on the inside in the heats, and now will be on the outside for the final. The Swiss athlete. Can she live with those athletes in the dead center? The seeding is done, so we witness a bit of an arrowhead formation, but when does it ever play out just like that? Stefanovic, Akande, Swoboda, Arce, Kempinen. Very impressive in the heats. If you go on qualifying, perhaps the favorite, John, Junk and Berge, your women's 60-meter final. Well, it's no question Harce's strength relies in just the rhythm. An athlete who is so accomplished when it comes to the relays needs to find that rhythm as quick as possible, just like she did in qualifying. Can she take it to a European medalist in Swoboda next to her, an athlete who has broken 7 seconds for the 60 meters? Final event of the evening here in Dortmund, your women's 60-meter final. German hopes hang on that lady dead center, Rebecca Haase. So then looking to see who gets that well. It is Swoboda who had the best start, and will she be able to hold on? The world indoor silver medalist from 2 years ago takes it. 7:24. Made the necessary corrections from the heat. And now she's back on top. Kempinen closed late as well. Haase had a very good start. Now, tell you what, young Abel Akande took it to a previous world indoor medalist. Pushed her all the way, and Akande's going to be rewarded with a second place here. But once Swoboda had that lead after 20 meters, I didn't see her losing that one. So the Polish sensation, the national record holder. Taking it here in Dortmund. Let's have a look at the re-one. It was just a very, very impressive 10:15, and that's what she's known for. And it's what she wasn't able to do in the heats. But then comes out here in the final, makes the corrections, good under pressure, can deliver under pressure. And perhaps Kempinen and Haase just got the better of them. Oh, just running through there, unfortunately, Grafin. Kerselink, so foul in the 6th for her, and that saw her go from 3rd all the way down to 5th. Jojo and Filipic were able to improve on their marks in the 6th, and were able to leapfrog that of Grafin Kerselink. So just Whitman and Velasco to go in that women's triple jump. But there is the results. So no season's best, no lifetime best, and no meet records in that women's 60. But boy, did it deliver. Swoboda wins. Akande in 2nd, and Haase the German in 3rd. 7:27. Well, Kira Whitman sits in 2nd. Little to jump for, really. The lead stands at 14:53 by Velasco. And Whitman would need a 70-odd centimeter improvement. And there you go. And you can almost tell, I guess, the motivation to really attack that jump perhaps just wasn't there. Knows that maybe she got the best out of herself in the 3rd round. 13:70 for Whitman. Good enough for 2nd on this occasion. $11.92 for the German. One of her more modest jumps. So in the final action here tonight, Velasco with a lifetime best. She has destroyed the field here in Dortmund. Every single jump above the 14-meter mark. she is going to be a threat come the World Indoors. Can Cuba deliver again? That is huge. She may as well have just bettered her mark from earlier on in the competition. It's a valid attempt. What will it come in at? And it's fireworks here, right at the death of this meeting in Dortmund. Velasco was crowned champion. To be honest, the second she went and jumped 14.53, 14.60. It's another lifetime best. Wow. Soaring up the world rankings is Velasco. And for me, the minute she jumped 14.53, I mean, it was game over. Perhaps some would have even said it was game over before they even started the competition. But you never know. And she's put on a show. So thanks to Velasco for what was a terrific performance here in Dortmund. And that concludes the action here in this magical arena, and all 4,000 fans will slowly make their way home as they witnessed 5 meet records here today. And how much longer will this be a bronze tour for? Because the standard that we welcome at this arena year after year seems to only get better and better and better. So I've been your commentator, Matt Seddon. It has been an absolute pleasure to host you all here today in Dortmund, and I wish you all a very, very good Sunday evening. And until next year, take care.
Perfect. And we loved having you. Thanks so much, Eva, and all the best for World Indoors. Eva Svoboda, unsere Siegerin über 60 Meter. Und sie hat ja, glaube ich, schon Medals verdient. Medals gibt es jetzt auch bei der Siegerin. Und bleibt gerne noch bei uns. Natürlich auch bei Eva.
großes Fest der Leichtathletik mit 7 Meeting-Rekorden geht langsam, aber sicher zu Ende. Aber wir wollen sie noch einmal richtig feiern. Bitte begrüßt mit uns unsere Siegerinnen und Sieger.
Getränke weiblich. Der Sieger dort aus Portugal mit einem Meeting-Rekord von 8,6 Metern, Gerson Balde.
Unsere zweite Disziplin, das sind die 800 Meter der Männer. Sieger durchgeführt durch Gregor Hocker, Inhaber des Präsenters Laufsportmonat Dortmund. Und unser Sieger in einer Zeit von 1,45,81, Meeting-Rekord aus Polen, Maciej Widaka.
Und die GER der 60 Meter der Männer wird durchgeführt von Ingo Buchmann, der Geschäftsführer Sport- und Freizeitbetriebe der Stadt Dortmund. Wir sagen Glückwunsch mit 6,55 und einem weiteren Meeting-Rekord. Oliver Godek.
Präsentiert von Orthobet. Die Siegerehrung wird durch den Assistent der Geschäftsführung, Bernd Albers. Und unser Sieger 400 Meter der Männer lief 46,00 Sekunden. Meeting-Rekord vom VW Wolfsburg, Jean-Paul Bredau.
Wird durchgeführt von Professor Dr. Thomas Jöllenberg vom Institut für Biomechanik der Klinik Lindenplatz. Sie war das erste Mal international unterwegs und direkt hat sie sich einen Sieg geholt. 23,06 für Kendra Davis.
Die Siegerehrung 1500 Meter.
Sponsor Ruhrnachrichten. Mit einer Zeit von 2:02:34 aus Frankreich, Lena Cantusino.
Als nächstes folgt die Siegerehrung 60 Meter Hürden der Männer. Siegerin durchgeführt durch Kevin Bakmangelic vom BVB Business Netzwerk. Und wir begrüßen unseren Sieger in 7,58 Sekunden. Meeting-Rekord eingestellt aus Polen, Damian GER.
Die Siegerehrung des Dreisport der Frauen wird präsentiert von den Unternehmen mit der 21 und Repräsentant Thomas Steff von der Konzertkommunikation. Siegerin